Everyone always talks about summer arms, but you know what? It's winter right now, and your arms don't stop working during winter. So starting now, you can build up your shoulder and arm strength, and that's what we're gonna do. I have a set of light dumbbells. Now, if I'm doing like a weight training thing, I don't go this light because I have a different purpose. But for our purposes, we're gonna have a lot of straight, long lever actions, and I'm gonna go lighter for that. But first and foremost, you're gonna come to your hands and knees, pad up your knees, pad up your hands. And we're gonna do some movement here. So we're going to push the ground away with our shins in our hands. You're gonna drop your chest down, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And you're gonna push the floor away, wrapping your shoulder blades around your rib cage. And then you're gonna repeat that. You're gonna shrug them together, push away. One more like this, shrugging them together, press away. Then you're gonna make circles. So I'm gonna lift my shoulders up towards my ears, draw them together, draw them down, push the floor away. Shoulders go up towards my ears, they squeeze together, they drop down my back and press away. Then I'm gonna draw my shoulders down and together, up towards my ears, push away. Doing that together, up towards my ears, press away. Take one arm out to the side, push through the bottom arm to open up. So I'm using this bottom arm to press, drawing the belly in up. You're gonna thread this arm. So you get a little shoulder mobility, a little stretch. I'm gonna try and bring my head right by my bottom hand and rest there. Breathe. And then you're gonna push through that hand that's on the ground and you're gonna open up again. And then you're gonna repeat that. And my body weight really wants to stretch back. And you know what? That might be where you are. So just explore. And then you're gonna open all the way up. Bring that hand down. Do the other side. You push through this bottom arm to open up. Then you thread that arm. And you breathe. And then you open up. And then you thread again. And then you open up. You breathe. You bring both hands down. You take a moment and you make your way onto your side. On your side, you get comfortable. I'm aligning the back of my body with the back edge of the mat with my knees bent. I'm going to look at my knees and hopefully get them stacked so my pelvis is somewhat stacked. And you're going to need one weight. And I want you to start with your arm by your side. Make sure your shoulder is not pushing forward, right? So I'm not going to pull into my neck when I do this. I want to get my shoulder on my rib cage. I want to get the shoulder head back, at least in alignment with my elbow. I'm going to hold the weight in my hand, and I'm just going to drop my hand and my forearm down towards my belly, and then I'm going to slowly lift it up. Maybe I even go into external rotation a little bit, but I'm not looking to go. So if I do this, it's not rotator cuff, it's shoulder movement, shoulder girdle movement more than shoulder joint movement. We're trying to isolate some shoulder joint movement. So stabilizing your shoulder blade on your body as you do this. And we're only going to do 5. So 3, 4, one more, 5. Take that arm straight up towards the ceiling. Keep a nice grip on your weight. Just drop the shoulder onto the ribs. So breathe. Make sure you know where your ribs are because that's what you need to support your shoulders. And you're going to reach forward, hover above the ground. Make sure we didn't collapse and rotate. We stayed stacked. So I have to use some abdominals there. And come up. And again, we're going to do 5. And up. And forward. And up. 2 more. Up. Last one. Up. Bring the arm forward. Only do the amount that you can do. So if you're like, I can't do this with the weight, drop the weight. Do it with your arm out in front of you. Circle 3, 2, 1. Go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Bring the weight down. Come up. We do the other side. So really short and simple. Trying to just wake up our shoulders, wake up the rotator cuff specifically here, and the structure that supports that. All right, so you've got your arm by your side. Shoulder is shoulder girdle, meaning your collarbone and your shoulder blade are on your ribs. So take a deep breath. Find that top rib cage. Get your collarbone wide and settled, your shoulder blade settled in the back. Bring your elbow by your side, arm parallel. You have a bent 90-degree elbow, hopefully. You slowly lower that arm down. And then you slowly lift it up. You slowly lower it down. and then lifting up. And you lower down, and you lift up without a ton of, it's really small. You can do this with a dumbbell, without a dumbbell, with a resistance band. I just find that it's easy to pick one prop to use. You're gonna hold that arm, keep turning out, reach the arm up towards the ceiling, keep that shoulder girdle snuggled onto that nice voluminous rib cage as you reach forward and back up for 1. Forward, back up for 2. Your elbow might want to bend to shorten your lever. You're going to try and keep that lever straight. Right here, I really have to use my abdominals and my shoulder girdle muscles to keep that shoulder and the arm connected into my trunk. 2 more. 1 more. Then you're going to reach forward and hold. Circle. 3, 2, 1. Go the other way. 3, 2, 1. Bring the weight down. You're going to be rolling to your belly. If you have some lower back issues, you can always fold up a towel and put it in your belly between your pelvis and your ribs, and that gives you a little bit more support for your lower back. And you're going to wiggle around, create space between your ribs and your pelvis. Take a moment and breathe in, and as you exhale, squeeze the abdominals. And it's nice because you can really feel that you can feel what your belly does against the mat. Like, could you lift your navel away from the mat, right? How much work would that be? Maybe you just want to think, okay, my ribs and my pelvis have some connection. I just feel some firmness there, and that's fine too. Bring your head center. Drop your shoulders onto those ribs. Float your head off your hands, just a little hover. So I didn't lift my chin up, I just floated my head up. So my forehead, my eyebrows are just hovering over my hands. I'm going to bring my arms wide. I'm taking my weights a little bit out of my way. I'm going to bring my arms wide into a goalpost or a cactus position and push my elbows down into the ground, shrugging my shoulders away from my ears, lengthening my neck. So I didn't use the attachments of my shoulders to my skull and my neck to move my shoulders. I'm keeping my neck and my head stable. And then you're going to bring your fingertips down and lift your elbows up. Just enough belly and leg support so that your lower back is not doing this, but your shoulders and your upper back. 1 more. Elbows down. I feel my right side wanting to shorten. And down. All right, now bring yourself to where you have your elbows lower than your hands. Reach back and grab your weights and just straighten your arms by your side with the weights in a vertical position. So the weights are up and down. You're going to stay there and you're going to think, okay, so just let my head rest, float it up a little bit, find the belly, find a little leg work. The shoulder head, so the humeral head, is going to roll back, the collarbones widen, and your shoulder blades need to slide towards your butt a little bit. So you're thinking going into your back pockets. But as I did that, I didn't try and back bend a lot. I'm staying like an arrow versus a bow. Then with my arms super straight, even locked if you want to imagine. Shoulder heads back, collarbones wide, shoulders on my rib cage. I'm going to float those weights up. And then all you're going to do is you're going to widen your arms just a little bit, not even wider than the mat. You're going to squeeze your arms as close to the body as you possibly can and slightly up and then lower and open. Squeeze as close into your body and up and open. Now, how is your neck and head? Is your neck still long or did it start to shorten? Squeeze in and lift up. Are your elbows starting to bend? Are your shoulders starting to roll forward? 2 more. 1 more. Let the weights relax. From there, take your hands under your shoulders, lift your chest, your ribs, and your belly all off in one piece and stretch back into a child's pose. Take a deep breath there. And then you're going to come onto your back. So you can lay on your side and roll over, or you can just roll straight down through the center. You're going to take your arms up towards the ceiling. If you lay on your back and you immediately feel your shoulders roll up and your neck pull, head support, head support, head support, so that your shoulders can drop back and your rib cage can drop back. Reach your arms up. If you want to make it more core, you bring your legs up too. So totally up to you what you can do to stabilize your rib cage and your spine towards the mat. And you're going to reach the arms overhead, long neck, and bring them towards your legs. So we're just doing this, reaching and pulling up towards the ceiling. 5 of these. 3 and up. 4 and up. Last one, 5, and up. And then you're going to press your weights together. Bring your feet down about 6 bones distance. You're going to bridge up and bring your arms towards your legs. So you're thinking, not my belly, my hips push up, my arms pull down. And then as you lower your hips down, you're going to bring your arms up to the ceiling, elbows straight up towards the ceiling as you bend the elbows, bringing the weights just above your head. And then you're going to straighten as you lift, pull the arms down to the hips, long neck, and then drop your butt, bend your elbows. So a little choreography, a little coordination having to happen there. Lift the hips, press the arms down, arms float up as the hips go down, bend and straighten. 2 more. Hips go down, arms go up, bend and straighten. Lift the hips, hips go down, bend and straighten. Stay there. Wiggle around to get those ribs down, shoulder blades down. Feel your shoulder blades kind of squeeze a little bit onto those ribs as you keep your spine nice and long. So we don't get our shoulders, quote unquote, down our back by shortening our back and always pushing them down. Because sometimes elevation is as important as depression of your shoulder blades. So I want there to be a hug of your scapula onto your ribs, but it doesn't change the shape of your spine as far as keeping your spine long and connected to the mat. Bring your legs to tabletop. Slowly open one arm out without rotating. Bring that arm back to center. Straight lever, open one arm out. Bring it back to center. Inhale out. Exhale, center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. Inhale, out. So a little core support because you're going to want it for the next thing. And last one. And you bring your elbows down, your arms down, and you're going to come to your kneeling. So if you need knee padding, you grab that. And when we go for kneeling, here's the trick, is you got to use your hamstrings and glutes, and you got to use your belly. Because a lot of times we kneel and we kind of just jam the hips forward, belly kind of will sling forward, and maybe we even push it up, and we lean back in our back. So I want you to get your ribs stacked over your pelvis, but you've got to use your hips to bring your pelvis forward, and your abs to keep this line from breastbone, rib cage to pelvis and pubic bone all organized. So you're going to do that as you grab your weights, and you're going to take your hips down, you're going to reach your arms forward, and as you exhale, you're going to think shins pushing down, thighs hooked together, belly's working, and you're going to pull your arms back for chest expansion. But we're going to really imagine we're pulling, because if we were on the reformer, I would have you pull the straps with this pulley system we have there. Bring this open. It's chest expansion, not rib cage belly expansion. So belly has to stay engaged. Look over one shoulder and center. Look over the other shoulder and center. Inhale, go forward. Exhale, pull the arms back. Pull them slightly behind you if it's fine, if that feels okay in your shoulders. Now we're going to add a little head and neck to this. So what you're going to do is, instead of looking over that shoulder, you're going to tip one ear to one shoulder. Then you're going to look down towards that armpit. Where's the glutes? Where's the belly? Where's the squeeze of the arms? Like I'm squeezing the weights and bringing my arms back. Looking towards that armpit. Then I'm going to bring my chin down towards the center of my chest. Come up in the center. I'm going to keep squeezing. I'm going to take my other ear to my shoulder. Rotate so my chin goes towards my armpit. Bring that chin to my chest. And up. Reach forward. Hips go down, arms go up. Squeeze those arms back. Squeeze the glutes and the abdominals. And do another look over one shoulder and center. Look over the other shoulder and center. Then you're going to stay in this setup as you take your hips back. Bring your arms back. Drawing my belly and my waist in. So I'm going to push through my shins, engaging my hip muscles, lifting my belly up, arms straight back, no shoulders rolling forward. So my shoulder blades, the back of my armpit, everything's really active. And little pumps there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold there and release. Then we're going to do hug a tree. So with hug a tree, you're going to reach your arms out. You can lose the weights because this is a very long lever. And you're going to notice my elbows drooping. Different exercise to do it here. we're gonna see if we can rotate so it's like the elbows are on a tabletop, right? So my elbows are lifted here. I wanna strengthen my deltoid. And because we're lifting our arms up, the trap is gonna try and get involved, but if you can keep your ribs and your ears stacked over your pelvis, it will help. So I'm gonna think, lift my elbows, the weights are hanging in my hand, and as you exhale, you hug everything center. I think about hugging a giant ball or like a giant roller, and I'm trying to imagine even my body being a roller, and then opening out. Exhale, hugging in, even my legs squeeze together. Inhale, open, exhale, hugging in. Opening out, 2 more, so not a ton. Opening out, 1 more. Opening out, bring the arms down. From there, we're going to take a little overhead press. So we're gonna bring the weights together. Similar to when you're doing your bridging, you're gonna bring your arms back behind you. You're just gonna press up towards the ceiling. And this is a moment where there's this blend of elevation and depression that you have to play with. And I really want to allow this to my waist to be long as I do this. Glutes are still active, belly is still active, neck is nice and free. And 1 more. And then you're gonna bring your weights down all the way. Bring your feet up underneath you and come up to standing, however you need to. With or without your weights, you're gonna bring your heels slightly together. So very Pilates-y. So I only have maybe 3-4 fingers distance. You're gonna squeeze your heels together, wrap your hips underneath you, draw the belly in, shoulders away from the ears. You're gonna reach your arms out to the side, have a little bit of external rotation, meaning the pinky edge of my hand is lower than my thumb, and circle. 2, 3, 4, 5, circle the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your arms down, lower the weights down, bring your arms back out, and it'll feel like they're floating. And you're just gonna do a shoulder mobility. So I'm gonna turn one hand up. It's not just from my forearm, it's also coming from my shoulder and my shoulder girdle. So shoulder joint, hand, forearm, shoulder joint, shoulder girdle. Same thing on the other side is internal rotation. You could even take your head with it if you wanted to. And you're just gonna move those shoulders. So one lifts and kind of internally rotates, the other one drops and externally rotates. And you breathe. And you just move your arms. This is a great thing to do if you haven't moved your arms at all any day. Just like pick this up and do it. And then reach your arms out like you're reaching through your fingertips, or reach the fingertips behind you, so your chest and all of the nerves that run through here all the way down out through your hand. Get a stretch. Bring your arms down, and you're done. All right, until next time, keep moving.